Hi, how we doing? I trust we are constantly dominating and influencing our world. Recently, I posted a write-up where I said that the joy of a leader is when the leader sees that the people he or she leads have the ability to work with little or no supervision. I also went further to say that as leaders, we should be able to train the people we lead so that they can be able to work with little or no supervision. Now, the question is how? How do you train these leaders to be able to work with little or no supervision so that you can have the time to focus on your own responsibility? It's simple. You have to be able to teach that new leader what you knew when you were handling that position the leader will be occupying. What were the rudiments you worked with? What were the things you learned? What were the things you were taught when you were handling that position? So it's imperative that you put that leader through that process. Because when you begin to say, oh, I don't have time to train that leader, I need to focus on my own, then you would have to go back to keep teaching that leader. Because I know oftentimes people say we bring people in to solve problems and not to tell them how to solve problems. But it's imperative that you also let them know the things you knew when you were handling that position. Also, for you to be able to have a leader who can work with little or no supervision, you need to train that leader to be able to learn more. Oftentimes when I come here, I tell us read more, study more. Why? Because the way things were handled when you were there would not be the way things would be handled, would not be the way things would be happening when that leader steps in to handle that position. So yes, I know we have to put that leader through the things we knew back then, but it's imperative we let that leader know that he or she needs to learn more. He or she needs to study the things that are happening in his or her own time so that the person can blend the both knowledge to be able to work under or with little or no supervision. Of course, as a leader, I will feel satisfied, I will feel happy when I know that someone who is handling a position I handled is coming to tell me new things he or she discovered in that position. It's gonna be awesome. So train your leaders to be able to learn more. All right. Now, I want to also say something. You see, Jesus in his own time, there were times where Jesus had to step aside for his leaders to handle things. He had to step aside to see what his leaders would do in that situation. Of course, we see in the period where the boat was about to capsize, Jesus was sleeping. And he had to allow the disciples see, or rather do, what they know how to do. But unfortunately, they were not able to handle the situation, so they fell back to God, or rather they fell back to Jesus. So that is how it is here now as leaders. We should be able to allow the people we lead handle things themselves. Of course, they might fail. But one thing in leadership is that we always need to constantly look into what the people we lead are doing. In as much as we love to see them work with little or no supervision, we also need to look after them. We also need to help them through a lot of things. Why? Because leadership is a learning process. Okay, so with this, I believe we should be able to train the people we lead to be able to work with little or no supervision. All right. Finally, remember, it is God. We need to look up to God to help the people we lead to be able to work with little or no supervision. So in as much as you train those people, we also need to pray for the people we lead, so that God, the Holy Spirit, would guide them throughout the process. Okay? Yeah, guys, like I said, remember, study more, read more on how to train the people you lead to be able to work with little or no supervision. Why? Because it is vast. I can only give you briefs, but it is vast. So read more. All right. Now, until I come your way next time, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to please follow me on Instagram at Kingsley_D_I. Send me a friend request on Facebook at Honorhasi Kingsley. Let us keep the conversation going on. Remember, advise, encourage someone to subscribe, like, share as well. That way you would influence the person to be able to learn and dominate his or her world. Until I come your way next time, guys, please always remember, dominate and influence your world. Safe.